So this is Kenny. I'm the founder of BroadStreet, the company that makes ParkAve. You might be looking at ParkAve and you might be thinking, oh, it's cool, but I'm not really sure what this might be used for or how it's useful. BroadStreet works with publishers almost exclusively in the areas of hyperlocal news, regional news, city and regional magazines, industry and trade magazines. And there's one thing that they all have in common. They all have direct sales teams and they all have to go out, pitch new advertising clients, try to get them on board, and ultimately repeat them. Or what we like to say during demos is that every single BroadStreet customer relies on repeat business. So those advertisers that you're working with, it's important that they stay with us as advertisers in the long run because that's how we grow and sustain our business. What we've found as a company is that our publishers who do something a little bit different and more creative on the display ad front are much more successful. So the ones who can kind of offer something to their advertisers that advertiser has never seen before, that ends up being really powerful in that initial sales meeting. And it's more likely to help that advertiser move toward a proposal. So ParkAve is really a tool that is used to build display advertising, but it's not necessarily intended for designers. It's intended for ad sales people who can basically spec out ads prior to a sales meeting. So let's say that we have a meeting with an advertising client in an hour. We want to put something together that they've never seen before, so we might peruse some of ParkAve's ad formats here. Once you create an ad, you can take that ad and you can put it in Google Ad Manager or BroadStreet or AdButler, whatever your ad manager of choice is. It can even be a WordPress plugin or just simply a WordPress HTML widget. But once you create these ads, and we'll walk through that process, you'll see how powerful it is when it comes to getting a new advertising client on board. So this is one of our most famous ad formats. It's called the Amazing Cube. And the Amazing Cube looks complicated. It's really simple. 6 images and there are 6 captions. This cube has been copied by a lot of companies around the world. BroadStreet's the originator of the cube. And let's just take a look. Again, we have a meeting with somebody in a few minutes, so we want to put together, let's just say it's a local Chipotle. I eat at Chipotle a lot, so we'll use them as an example. So we'll go ahead and say, okay, we're going to create a leaderboard that's going to run at the top of our site. So we get our 970 by 250 up there, and we're going to call this a Chipotle example. Nothing too fancy. And then what we're going to do is go ahead. We had set the click-through URL. Where does the user go when they click the ad? And then what we're going to do is come down here and pick an image. Now, what makes ParkAve really powerful is that our whole thing is speed. It doesn't make sense to spec out ads if it takes us a lot of time. That's why designers probably don't like doing it, because we're always pitching new clients, always trying to get them on board. You know, the designer doesn't want to be creating spec ads for everybody. They have other things to do. So if we're going to create something with Chipotle, what we're going to do is we're going to pick choose a file. I can go ahead and upload a file to ParkAve, or I can actually use this Google image search or any of our stock photo searches, and we'll say, okay, I just want to go ahead and look for Chipotle. Maybe I'll actually qualify that a little bit and say I'm looking for the Chipotle logo. This looks nice, so I'll go ahead and use that, stick that in the cube, and we got our Chipotle logo right there. If I wanted to zoom and crop on that logo, go ahead and do that. And we can edit other things, like we would go ahead and set the wording on this ad, but we could change the call to action, things like that. Slow down that cube if you do think it is moving a little fast, something you wouldn't want your readers to see. We'll go ahead and do that. And now what we'll do is go ahead and search for more images. We'll go ahead and search for Chipotle again. That burrito bowl looks nice, so we'll go ahead and pick that. Pick that first side of the cube. We'll scroll through here. Pick another one. All these Chipotle images look really nice. And the nice thing about the cube is that it's very image focused. And it turns out that ad formats or advertisements with imagery, they work out really well. They get a lot of clicks. So we could just go through here, and obviously this isn't the location. I'm just using this as an example. But continue to roll through our different options. I guess that one was pretty nice. I kind of passed that up in the beginning. And we'll go one more time. And is there anything we missed? Well, this one I was kind of avoiding it because it looked like it's been chewed on. So we're going to pick that anyway. It is just an example. And pick one last image. So we do want a nice looking cube in the end. Let's pick this one, because this one we're going to have to zoom and crop. So it's not the prettiest picture of a burrito bowl, but just to show that zooming and cropping functionality. So now we just created an ad for Chipotle. Obviously, we'd want to change those captions. But what we can do is scroll down to the bottom of the page and save it over here on that bottom right. And we've just created a cube. And if we click on Get Code, this is code that we can use and paste into our ad manager or even a WordPress HTML widget. And we can render that ad. And you saw before that we could select different sizes. There are a couple other options. We can also download the whole thing as a zip archive if we need to upload it into another service as a zip file. We can do that. We can send over a client preview page to show a client what it would look like in different sizes. And we can see those different sizes. There's our 300 by 600 or 720 by 90, and we have codes for each one of those sizes. I think what I'll do is go back here, go back to that Get Code page. I also have the ability to share the ad via email or send a share link via clipboard. This is a special share link. It will allow the client to customize the ad themselves. But Broadsheet customers use these rich HTML5 formats very effectively because nobody else is offering that. If they look at their competitors, they say, okay, my competitors, Google isn't offering this, Facebook isn't offering it, and none of my competitors in this area are offering it. So if I work this into my media kit, I'm going to be a lot more successful, and they do that very effectively. Broadsheet works with hundreds of hyperlocal publishers who do this, and also niche media, radio broadcasters, etc., who work our many different ad formats into their media kit. So ParkAve can really help you take your ad sales game to the, not to sound cliche, but to the next level. And it can really offer you some differentiation where otherwise it's kind of hard. It's hard selling static banner ads. If you offer something different, you're going to get attention from advertisers like our customers have. And you can see we do try and cover a lot of the common verticals of our publishing clients. So we would highly encourage you to check it out. ParkAve is free to use. There'll be a little ParkAve watermark if you use our free tier. If you do end up signing up for a paid account, there's a $29 a month account, $99 a month. We do try and price it in a way so that it will quickly justify itself. If you go out and you use ParkAve to win an ad sale, there's a good chance it paid for itself and more. So if you do have any questions, you can always reach out via this little help widget down here. You can email us frontdesk@broadsheetads.com. We'd be happy to help you and also share some of our digital ad sales training videos. If you're new to ad sales, we'll show you how you can do that. So reach out, frontdesk@broadsheetads.com.